I just got done watching the Royal We Fellowship, and he made some really good points that really hit home for me, and it's very true. When I was young, when I was a boy, uh, my narcissist parents planted seeds in me, like seeds of fear in me, very effectively. And so even though I've grown up into an adult and yeah, I'm a man, I am a man, I think. Maybe not mentally, but I'm in a man's body. But that that terrorized kid that they terrorized, my parents terrorized, that's still a big part of me. That's still a huge part of me, and that's never been resolved in my mind. Uh, Nothing's ever soothed that. Nothing's ever got that terror to subside. Um, and that's a big thing. If I want to live a happy life, I have to overcome those seeds of terror that they planted in me when I was young, when I was a kid. And if I can do that somehow, that will like change the whole game, in my opinion, my whole life. If I can overcome uh, these, because they did put fear in me big time. Like, I was scared of them. I was definitely scared of them. Uh, uh, yeah. So that fear was in me, that they implanted, and I've never quite overcome it. I've never been able to talk about it because I was just too afraid. Like I witnessed things that weren't normal. You know what I mean? The unmasking, that's not normal for a kid to see. That'll terrorize any kid. And plus just the whole religious rituals abuse, constant, repetitive, just cult abuse. It was terrorizing. That too. You know what I mean? So a lot of my life I was in terror, but I didn't realize I was in terror. You know what I mean? I didn't sit back and say, "Hey, I'm in a terror state right now. I'm in trauma state right now. I'm a traumatized person right now." I didn't think that. I just thought, "Oh, I'm just depressed. I'm just going this is just the way I am." But no, I was a trauma case, and I didn't the whole time. I was a trauma case for uh since uh the unmasking of one of my parents. For sure, I was terrorized uh from that. Um but anyways, like it's a huge thing to overcome that fear that they implanted in you, that makes you scared of them, that makes you submit, that's intentional. They intentionally put fear in you. They implanted fear in you on purpose. You got to remember that it was manufactured fear that they put in you. And you got to remember it's not fear of like some impending doom, like a comet's coming towards the earth. It's not that kind of fear. It's just this fear that they put in you. They caused the fear. They put into you. You could I can feel it. They put that fear in me, and it's never my body remembers it, and I've never known how to get rid of it. Uh, that always being afraid of these people. You know what I mean? And if I can overcome that fear, it would be a major, major step, a huge step for me. If I can overcome that fear that they put in me when I was a kid. And you know what I'm saying? Because even as an adult, that that fear and terror is still within me. It hasn't been cured. You know what I mean? That terror hasn't been cured yet. Hasn't been resolved to not feel terror. So that's a big thing that I have to overcome and work on. And uh, it's very true. They implant terror and fear in you. They implant it in you, as a kid, and it's just something that's never been addressed fully, in my opinion. I've always been too afraid to talk about it, because all of it was abnormal. It wasn't like something that could be explained by science. Science can't explain what I saw. So you have that. It's not in the physical world. You know what I mean? It's not. It's like a spiritual kind of terror. Um, and so it's hard to get the courage to explain this to a professional without them calling you crazy. You know, even though it's factual, even though what you saw was factual, still being called crazy or mentally ill, even though what you saw was factual. That's what I was afraid of. I was afraid of being called names, being dismissed, being swept under the rug, even though what I experienced was factual. And God knows it was factual. I knew if I told the truth, I would sound like I was nuts, but it was the truth, you know. And so it's kind of a weird predicament to be in. It's a very hard spot to be in, you know. And you can't just you can't just say that to a professional and have them believe you. Oh, my parents are demons in disguise. FYI, they're not going to believe that shit. Your parents just dropped you off at the psychology place, the psychologist, you know what I'm saying? And talk to the psychologists themselves. You see what I'm getting at? They're handing me off to the psychologist or the counselor. It was a psychologist, and they're the perpetrators that are uh, handing me over to the psychologist, saying the perpetrators, the demons in disguise, are handing me over to the psychologist, saying my son needs help. I needed help from the people that were turning me over to the psychologist. They were the problem. I was scared of them. I was scared of what I saw. I was scared of them, not some magical mental illness that came out of nowhere. I was a healthy kid, normal kid, and out of nowhere, I have all these problems. No, they ain't normal. My parents aren't normal. They're straight up crazy beings that I've never come across before. How do you explain this to somebody? You know what I'm saying? And they're putting on this false front like they're innocent and they're the good guys. It's just a hard position to be in. Like, the people that are guilty are putting on this false front show that they're something that they're not, to the psychologist. You know what I mean? They're the guilty ones. Tough spot. Tough spot to put a kid. That's the spot I was in. Um, and I feel bad for any kid that's in that position right now. Any kid that has two narcissist parents that are terrorizing the kid. I feel for that kid. It's a weird position to be in, that you don't know how to explain to anybody, and be believed and not be laughed at. You know what I mean? Because to people that haven't been through it, it sounds nuts. It sounds like science fiction, but it's not. It's not science fiction. It's real. They ain't normal. You know what I'm saying? The people that claim to be my parents are not human, you know? Anyways, I just want to get that off my chest, you know. I will talk to you guys later.